I was big into this show. We used to sing it all the time.
I bought it on a VHS cassette at the dollar store. Watched it. Wayne Gretzky had his own cartoon, Pro Stars. That was with Bo Jackson, and they had a scientist who made them like special hockey pucks.
Andre 3000 had a show.
Andre, yeah, he did just recently. Yeah, a little while ago.
Kelly Cruz produced
That's
it.
not old school.
Oh, whoops. I thought you were just talking about.
Oh no, talking about Deke. Remember Deke cartoons?
Deke, yeah, he'd come on and be like,
Oh yeah, Deke. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Deke.
yeah, that person that's actually.
What were we talking about?
They did, Deke did the raccoons too, right? Do you have it in the States, the raccoons?
Raccoons? Oh, no.
Raccoons was this cartoon show, and it always ended with this moral, but they weren't like, be nice to your friends. It would be like, someone's polluting the forest, the lake and the forest, and they try to fight them. They stop the pollution, and the episode ends. They're like, well, the lake's still polluted, and it will be for the next 30 years. Like really heavy stuff. And I remember I liked it, but I always felt sad after I watched it. Because people were dying, and they would, like all the fish were dead, and you can't fish there anymore. Cut to commercial.
It was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was like the aartvark, the villain.
Yeah.
He represented man.
C.L. Sneer.
Yeah, he represented
The folly of man. He was like
Yeah.
this rich aardvark, and he had these kids, and the kids were friends with the raccoons, but it was really good. Yeah. Sad stuff.
I think about this conversation a lot. This kind of conversation where you just remember old cartoons or old anything, and it can go on forever. And you remember that? Yeah, I do remember that one. And it just keeps going on and on. And it's gonna, like, I think about it a lot because I know that the girl who was crying on that phone call is gonna be doing that in 20 years. You know, she's gonna be having that same thing. Like, hey, I cried, man. That really messed me up. And I think that's pretty neat. And that's why like writing episodes that are so emotionally impactful is important to me, because I want kids in college to have that conversation. I want them to remember this and just talk about it, because that's what I did. So that's yeah, and with the straightest arm.
Is there any particular drive behind all the kind of spiritual
Jesse.
material that's...
It's Jesse Moynihan and Tom Perfect. That's the drive. These dudes. This guy. You want to talk about it?
I just, I don't know, I like that stuff. I like weird cosmologies, you know, like coming up with, like building up kind of like the world's spiritual logic and like, you know, like, I feel like if you're gonna do a cartoon, you can do anything you want, and it can be as crazy nuts as possible.
Boinks.
Yeah. Besides, yeah, besides the jokes, I don't know. I think if you embed these weird, like, kind of like metaphysical, you know, like ideas into a children's cartoon, like, you know, that's like, I don't know, I could talk about this for like 3 hours, and it'd be like weird, and I'd be stuttering over myself. So, but like, yeah, I like that stuff. Yeah.
I like it too, just because kids are. This is the first thing that kids are looking at. You know, this is the first, like, when I was a kid, like, I was watching Ren and Stimpy and just being like, oh my gosh, like, I had no idea that things can be like this. You know, like peeing on an electric fence, like, it was like rocking my world, you know? And like, ideas that are boring to me now rock my world when I was a kid. Like on The Simpsons, there was a joke where Bart says his dad is a half man, half monkey type creature. And like, as an adult, I'd be like, this is kind of tame concept, you know? Like, it's not as ridiculous as I would try to write something way funnier than that as an adult, but like, as a kid, I was like, oh my gosh! Half man, half monkey! Which is, I remember that, so I know that when we're plugging in these crazy, I don't know how you describe these kinds of
You
ideas.
just want to blow kids' minds,
Yeah.
you know? So like, you take a joke like, because we can't say, oh my God, on the show, you know?
Yeah.
So we start saying, oh my glob, and then it's like,
And then they get to meet.
well, let's make up what's glob, you know? And so let's figure that out, and then that leads to this, you know, thing that's going to happen that's like pretty crazy. And it's just an excuse to, you know, blow kids' minds, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Little Hands.
I was wondering if you guys, like, when you're in your creative process, if anybody kind of swaps roles once in a while, like, if you're storyboarding, come up with a good character design, if that kind of ends up in the show, or, you know, if any of your roles sort of cross over in production.
Yeah, I mean, Andy, you want to talk about designs that turn into stories, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it happen both ways, where a lot of times when we get the episode and design, the storyboard's already done. So we look at all the drawings that have kind of been drawing, and a lot of times the storyboards take the first pass at what the characters look like, and sometimes we keep everything like exactly the same. Sometimes we change a little bit. Sometimes we push things till they're even crazier than they are on the board. And then there's other times where, like, I did a sketch and I showed it to Penn of just a random character, and I was like, oh, this would be really cool to do something with this. And it got developed into an episode that Michael DeForge boarded, actually. And he's a designer, and he was boarding an episode.
Yeah. Swapping it around.
Yeah.
Switching it up. Flippity flop. Yes?
Where did Flynn get his hat?
He killed a bear. Well, he's had it since he was a baby. And he killed a bear when he was a baby. I like to sleep in panel discussions sometimes. Not when I'm on the panel, but like I like going, like at Comic-Con, going in and like there'll be 6 random guys on the panel like talking about if like the blob can kill Jaws. And then I'll just curl up because it's empty. The place, there's like maybe, I don't know, if it's a really big auditorium, there's like 30 people in there, and I'll just go to the back seats and lay down on those blue chairs and fall asleep. I like sleeping while other people are talking. Yes, far right with the highlight, the light shining on your head.
Have you ever created something in a draft that you want to take out of the show because you felt it was too crazy?
Too crazy. Y'all know? Too crazy? If stuff's too gross, I take it out sometimes. I don't like gross stuff. And I don't think, I don't know. It makes me, I think a lot about like World of Warcraft. And like why people prefer World of Warcraft over other MMOs, and I think it's because it's so pretty. I'm sure none of y'all play World of Warcraft. But I do. I did, and sometimes do. I don't know, I take gross stuff out sometimes when it makes me feel sick, so that's all. Crazy, too crazy, I don't know. Too crazy. Can't think of anything.
Who's on your pen?
A girl gave this to me. It's an old man sucking on a green leaf. I thought it was Gandalf, but I'm not entirely sure. I can't really tell. It's weird. Someone gave me some ice cream when I was signing. I'm lactose intolerant. But I love ice cream. And I supped from the ice cream cup. And now I'm gonna be all gassy. Farts are funny. Yes, you.
Do you think if your show wasn't subject to all these like rules and approvals and stuff it has to go through, do you think the subject matter would be more explicit?
No, it'd be the same. I don't want to make like X-rated cartoons. I like making stuff for kids. I think it's fun, and it's what I liked when I'm trying to make it for me when I was a kid. So I'm stoked that the standards don't. It would still be the same show if we didn't get notes at all. I think that's what I think. Yeah.
Do you guys have any webcomic favorites that are either here in TCAF or on the web, I guess?
Yeah, you want to go around? You got some webcomic favorites?
I like Jesse's webcomic. I like Dash Shaw's webcomic. It stopped. It stopped a while ago, but Body World I really liked. I'm really bad at keeping up with webcomics for some reason. Like I read a lot of comics, and I just end up buying them. Like Casey Green's really funny, but I only ever read it when I like buy it from him. And yeah, that's like a lot of things. I like the study group site. That's cool. Aiden Coach. I think that's how she has a really good strip on that I've been trying to keep up with.
It's weird because I know a lot of web cartoonists, and so I have to think like, do I like the person or do I like their strip? They kind of blur together. But Anthony Clark does a comic called Nendroid, and it's about these two friends. One's a half bear, half potato called Bertato. There's this weird bird thing called Reginald, and they're just like friends hanging out all the time. It's such a good comic. And I read that a lot. And actually, when I proposed to Jen, we worked on a comic together, and it ended with, will you marry me? There's check boxes for yes or no. And she checked off yes, which was great. If she checked off no, I'd have to, like, what do I do with the comic? That's really sad. And hanging out and be like, oh yeah, that's when I popped the question. And she said no. Oh well. And I like, there's this action comic called The Adventures of Dr. Ninja that I really enjoy. It's this conflict between being a healer and a ninja that I think is well explored in that. Tons of comics. I like all the comics. A Softer World is really good. It's like photos and text on top of the photos, talking about feelings. I'm not really one who likes to talk about feelings, but I like to read about other people talking about feelings. It's nice. All the comics. I like all the comics.
I'm a little out of touch with webcomics, but anything that comes up, I just read what's on my Twitter feed. So it's Anthony Clark is
so good.
Amazing. I think Anthony, Casey Green, and Meredith Graham with her comic Octopus Spy. I think she's one of just the best cartoonists. I think she's so talented. I think she's the best at drawing eyes. She's good at pupils. But yeah, and, I like Adam, anytime Adam Mudo does a tall penguin. I really like that. But yeah, I'm getting slowly out of touch with comics. So. Yeah.
I like Jesse Moynihan's comic online called Forming, jessemoynihan.com. It's really good. I like Aquid a lot.
Yes.
I think it's one of the best written things ever online or off. His humor is inspiring to me. And Jesse's comic online, jessemoynihan.com, is really amazing. I'll check it out.
I was following Hitman for Destiny for a long time. Did you read that? Anybody? It's fucking awesome. Oh, sorry. He's good. Hitman for Destiny. I don't even know how to say the guy's name.
I don't know,
Or
but
is
yeah,
it
that
some
is
Swedish guy?
amazing. Yeah, if there's one thing that y'all take away is go check out Man for Destiny, because that is a
and
rad
you finish
comic.
the whole thing, so you can read it all in one.
Oh yeah, it's really long.
It's really long and it's amazing. I like him. Yeah, I like Dash Shaw's Body World is awesome. And, yeah, Casey Green is great. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say pretty much everybody else already said, but like I like Michael's work a lot, and he's always coming out with a new comic, and always awesome.
Thank
you. But yeah, I mean, like you guys are saying, like a lot of things just kind of like they kind of float in on Twitter, and you just kind of open them up and you kind of look at them. I feel like I stopped kind of following people's blogs and their RSS feeds, and I kind of just see them as they come in, because there's so much great stuff to look at. So you just kind of catch it as you see it, and you're kind of like, oh yeah. And you kind of pick up a pattern, like I should check out this person over and over again. But yeah.
Yeah, I like Super Mutant Magic Academy.
Oh yeah,
it's really good. I haven't really been following that much, so like I'm gonna say Perry Bible Fellowship, even though that ended like 4 years ago.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
What sort of things would you say to aspiring cartoonists out there? Like from your experience, what could you give as pointers?
I only have super boring answers for that, and I know y'all are probably getting sleep. I'm going to try to say them in the most boring way so that y'all just slowly pass on. I think that young cartoonists should draw a lot. They should just draw all the time. Just keep drawing. Make sure that you always carry your sketchbook around with you. And if you keep drawing, eventually you'll become a great artist. I think that's true. I think that's a true statement. And it sounds stupid to say it, but it's real. I think most of these guys that are on the panel would agree with me that they all they're all working at Cartoon Network because they output. I'm being sincere, even though I'm talking in this stuff voice. They're all working at Cartoon Network because they output so much work, and there's just make sure you put a bunch of work out there, and I'll come check it out because I go to conventions because I like reading comics and buying comics, and if you like, there's an indie area over in the first floor that a lot of people aren't hitting up yet. I'm sorry, but let me slow down a little bit. Over in the corner is an indie scene. I guess, oh shit, I'm talking too fast. What are we doing? It's tough. Was that rough?
It was rough.
Was that rough for everyone else or just Jesse?
I now hate you.
No. Yeah! I did it! See, that's what happens. What? Were we going around? I can't even remember what was happening before.
Aspiring cartoonist or
Yeah.
comic book artist? I mean the same. I mean, like animation.
Animation, I guess. Like the whole process, because you have to work with so many people and storyboarding, character designs.
Just come up and talk to us after the panel. Give you like an hour-long answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can find, what's the booth number?
Where are you at?
I'm not on the booth.
I'm what?
153.
150. A bunch of us are at 153.
153 for yeah.
It's over by the water. It's like
They'll talk to you at length about everything they went through trying to get into the studio and yeah.
The doors
Sorry.
are locked. The roof is a good way to get in.
Oh, it's locked. Okay.
yeah. Oh, that's true.
Pointing.
Okay, so the Ice King origin story came across as really Lovecraftian to me, and I was wondering if we're going to get any more of more overt references to that kind of stuff.
I love Lovecraft. So yeah, I mean, I love that stuff. I love that his stories are all about. It's less about the monster and it's more about the person experiencing the fear, which is really fascinating to me and really like puts me into the moment, like when I'm reading those short stories. So I mean, I love that stuff. It's hard to. The only one that comes to my mind is the Rats in the Wall one. Yeah, but it's hard to plug that in because the thing that you want to use from H.P. Lovecraft is that fear, not the monsters. Like the monsters are in everything, and that's the visual side of Alan. But it's hard to really capture the fear that everyone experiences in those stories. But yeah, I like that stuff. Yep.
Are you ever going to do another, well, this isn't Adventure Time related, but are you ever going to do another video with Natalie, like the Pikachu fart joke?
Oh yeah, Natasha Allegri. Yeah, we'll do some stuff like that. She keeps coming up with ideas. She drew all that stuff. I don't know if y'all can look up on YouTube. Pikachu Poochu was something that Natasha drew out, and it was a Pokemon thing with farts in it. That was funny, and she wrote it all out. And yeah, she wants to do another one. I think she wanted to do. I can't remember what the next one was, but she's working on it. I was about to. No, never mind. I'm not going to say what it is. Yeah, we'll do more of those things. That's fun. And I want to do some more of those back ones. Purple, 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 purple.
I was wondering if Flame Princess wanted to make a cameo in the Gentleman episode.
Oh, maybe, no. I'm not sure if she was in that. I don't think so. Oh, wait. Maybe. I can't remember. Hopefully. I want to see that too. Yes.
Speaking of punching people in the face through the TV,
Yeah.
and just being really disturbing, who was behind the old Tartoter's speech?
Tom Herpick, thomasherpick.com. He wrote that poem. There was a poem contest that, like, I think a few people, Akka wrote a poem, and Tom won the poem contest. He's a poet. Any more? Yes?
Do you approach like those great comic talents like Emo Phillips in that recent story one there? Like you got all those great people lending their voices. Is it people you approach, or do they sort of have their agents get?
No, we approach them. Yeah, like I just hire people that I'm fans of. Hire celebs that I want to see. Like Worf came in, Michael Dorn. And I was just like, oh my god, Worf is here, Worf. I wasn't listening. I couldn't hear anything what he was saying when he was performing. I was just like, where's Worf? He's right there. And I just, yeah, it's fun for me to geek out and hire celebs. It's like giving a stalker if you wanted to meet that gal.
Ellen Page.
Yeah, Ellen Page. We could try hiring Ellen Page, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about asking.
Yeah, you heard it here first. We're a bunch of creepy peepees that have resources to hire all the cast of TNG and Ellen Page. Hat, glasses, pants. Oh wait, what is it? Yeah, he's coming back. Jake's brother.
Yeah, I was trying to pitch something to Pat about Jermaine coming back.
Jermaine? Yeah, Jermaine will be back. Hat, pants, glasses, shirt.
Well, with the recent announcement of Marceline and the Scream Queens, it's pretty clear that people like the Marceline Princess Bubblegum dynamic. Is this something that you planned or something that just happened? How far along were you with that?
I think Meredith just started writing that. Meredith Brand's going to write it. Draw it, right? Yeah, she's drawing it. It just started. I think I just saw a script from her, and I sent back some ideas for it. Well, it's just a bare bones beginning of it right now.
I was being more like how the relationship progressed. Like, was that something you had planned? Like, people really like it a lot. So,
Oh yeah. Rebecca Sugar was she gave me a bunch of like ideas about how they relate to each other, and they a lot of people don't know this, but well, never mind. I can't say that because it'd be a big spoiler. It'd be a bummer. You don't want to know this. It's dumb. If I did say it, I would say it in that boring voice, and no one wants to hear that again. We don't plan things out too much. Like, we're usually just kicking stuff out the door, but we're all very thoughtful, like, I think, at the same time, just working really quickly. So it's not like we don't plan things really far in advance, but we try to make it seem that way by just being really careful and caring about all the characters. I want to cut on that statement. Ryan? Any more questions? Patterned white, is that Canadian little flags? Apples.
I was wondering how long before you made the original Adventure Time pilot was the Finn and Jake Adventure Time idea in your head? Like, was it sudden or was it a long time coming?
It was very sudden. Everything for me is sudden. yeah, I just pooped it out. The idea, I just suddened it out real quick. Yeah, I don't know. That's why it's silly, I guess, because it's so sudden. Oh no, here it comes. Oh no, I'm starting to die. That was awesome. Y'all were so mad for a second. It was a real grunt that happened. That was, yeah, neat. Blue shirt?
When the show got signed on, did you have to think of all the things? Like, did you have to really flesh out the things, or did you think that before?
Do we flesh out the world when we got the show going?
Yeah. Well, had you thought about it before, or was it really just as
I don't know. I thought about it a little bit before and while I was doing it, and then, I don't know, yeah, I thought about it a bunch, I guess. Tried to flesh it out as much as we could in the time that we had. Yes?
Do you guys plan on bringing back Snow Golem? I really like that.
Yeah, he'll be around every now and then. Whenever you see the Ice Kingdom, he'll be schluffing along over there.
How did you guys come up with that episode?
I don't remember. We just wanted to do something really heartwarming. Tom really made it his own. It was all boarded entirely by Thomas Herpick and thomasherpick.com.
I don't even know if that's his website.
It is. I know that because he wanted to put it in an episode once. In the episode with the ghosts, they're talking backwards at one point at the end, and they're sucking the brains out of Finn with their big weird tentacle arms. You always remember that one? It's kind of big. It was a Marceline episode. Anyway, at the end of it, they're like, if you record it and play it backwards, what Tom wanted to put there was www.thomasherpick.com. We couldn't have done that anyway, but we ended up putting in good luck, Pat. Have fun in New York. We'll see you soon, because my friend Pat was leaving to go to New York. Our friend Pat. That's neat. A little Easter egg for y'all, a little spoiler. Y'all don't even have to look it up, because I told you. Yes? Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Behind Marceline? I had a lot of crushes on cartoon character women when I was a child. And so I wanted to just create girls that I thought were rad that maybe would make weirdo little kids have crushes on them if they couldn't have a crush on a real girl. They could watch television, this cartoon, and fall in love with them and write their name on their wall next to their bed and look at it before they fall asleep. Also, her name is the middle name of my good friend Marie Kirchhoffer. Marceline Kirchhoffer, who has a dog named Schwabel that passed away recently. Schwabel, rest in peace. He shows up in a couple episodes. You ever see Marceline's house and there's a little white poodle walking around? That's Schwabel. SCHWABLE. Schwabel. Holding some kind of instrument, a pen.
Where'd you get the ending song?
The ending song was sung by a girl named Ashley Erickson, who was a friend of Pat McHale's, and she's an amazing artist. Y'all should look her music up, because it's all very beautiful, and you don't really get to hear that song because there's always commercials playing over it. I don't know if y'all get to hear it in Canada or not, but does it play in Canada or are there commercials over it?
Actually, please for the
Oh, neat. That's neat. That's one up y'all got on US. We get the shaft with a bunch of commercials. Yeah. Ashley Erickson. Yeah. Beard.
I'm just just kind of curious, what was the drive to actually pitch the show in the first place? Because I mean, a lot of people have ideas for potential things, but you just kind of like, oh, that was fun, and that's the end of it, whereas you actually pushed it forward and tried to make it a thing.
You're asking about my drive.